Well, hello, friend. We're getting a lot of great feedback from a video that we posted over on the Church Marketing University Facebook page with my social media coach, John-Erik Moseler. If you haven't checked it out yet, be sure you do, because this video will make a whole lot more sense. Because, man, after people are watching it, they're fired up. They're like, how do we do a lot of the things that he talks about? Because he talks about how churches should look at social media in a totally different way than we're used to. Again, you'll love the content. Go watch it, then come back and watch this video. Because after watching the video, people are like, how do we do that? How do we see maybe the feed on Instagram? How do we follow a hashtag on Instagram? How do we see the feed on Facebook, and so on and so forth? And again, it'll make more sense once you've seen the video. But I wanted to show you a few things. This video here won't be exhaustive. I know there's a whole bunch of other tools. There's probably some tips that I won't be able to include in this video. And this stuff's always changing. But for those of you who are like, how do I get more engaged as a page, as a church, with really helping other people on social media? I want to share the love. I want to encourage them. I want to comment on their post. I want to like their page. I want to interact with them. Much more community building than just like, hey, the megaphone approach that a lot of churches are used to. So let me show you a few things. If you go to your Facebook page, this is on the desktop, what you're seeing here. And if you look over on this right side, one of the things that you'll see is this See Pages feed. So if you're a page and you want to interact with other pages, you can go over here and see your feed. And this is just going to show you pages, okay? Pages that you can interact with, and you can go in like other pages right here up top, click like, and then start typing in their name. So you might say, hey, who are other nonprofits in our community, in our city? What are other churches? What are other organizations that are like-minded? Go and like them. Then you can have a feed of those people and start encouraging them, commenting based on your page, sharing it, showing them some love. Again, thinking less about how do you get everybody to talk and look about you, everything centered on you, to how do you show other people, other organizations some love. So that's the feed, the pages feed on the desktop, which I recommend you liking the other pages and kind of doing that strategy with other organizations. It's not going to show you people, but it will show you pages in the feed there, which again, you can have a whole strategy for that. Now, if you want to see more the people side there and pages side, what you can do over on your regular feed. So if you're scrolling, you can see here, this is my personal feed. So this could get a little bit dangerous. But you see here, anytime you see this little down arrow, pay attention to that, because it's going to give you some options if you want to interact with that content as a page or as a person, or which page you want to use to interact with that content. Now, here is a personal post that you can see down here is giving me the option. Do I want to interact with this post as a page, as the Summit Park Church page, or as me personally? The reason why it's giving me the option to do that is because Kyle tagged the church page in this post. So anybody who's a personal profile that's tagging your organization, you now have the ability through this down arrow to say, hey, I want to start sharing this, commenting, interacting with this using our page, okay? You can also do that from your feed with any page that's posting. You'll see that arrow pop up. But this, for example, is a post from Zach Green. It's a personal post. It did not tag the Summit Park Church page. So right now, I don't have the ability, that little down arrow isn't there because it's personal all the way throughout. So you may also tell your team, like for example, Zach's on the SPC team, hey, be sure you tag the page. That's going to give the church the ability to comment, interact, and share that. Now you could always, even if it's a personal post, you could always go in here and hit the timestamp. That's going to pull up the direct URL to that page. And I typically will kind of take all that good stuff out, just take the front end of this URL, and you could take that over to the page and share it that way if you wanted to. So there are a little bit of hacks around that, but again, once you start queuing in on some of these things, you can be a little bit more strategic. But as you're going through just your personal feed, you will have options. So like this is a page advertisement. It gives me the option, since it's a page, I can hit this and choose, do I want to interact with this as another page? So again, here's another example from Wes. Hey, it's not a a page. It's just a personal profile, so no down arrow. Okay, do you see how that works? This is a post into our church marketers group, and since our page is an admin on that group, I'm guessing it's going to give me the ability to comment as the page. So anytime you see a down arrow on social media or these little dots, it's to your benefit to click on those, kind of lean in and be like, okay, what options is it giving me with any down arrows or dots? Okay, so there you go. That's how you would do this kind of on the page side or the personal side. Lots of good options there. And then over on your page too, on your notifications, when you see notifications, it's going to give you options to go look at kind of a feed of notifications. Then you can see your likes, comments, shares, other activity requests. And again, if you're wanting to kind of flip the script, like John-Erik would say, and kind of look at social the other way, how can the church and your brand and your page be more engaged and giving than just actually asking all the time? Then this is a great way to look through all the people that are interacting with you somewhere. And if they're sharing your content, click on that share and then go and leave them some love. Thanks for sharing. Thanks so much. We love that message too. So on and so forth. So that's another way through your notifications that you would be able to go show some love. Now, I'm going to flip over to my phone here so I can show you Instagram. Now, this is the Church Marketing University Instagram. So it is, even though it's got my face, I use my face on the CMU Instagram profile primarily because I like it when it feels a little bit more personal. That's just my take on it. You may also look at some of the CMU social profiles and you're like, why aren't those bigger? It's because we used to do all of the social interaction under Social Church, and this year we divided that, so CMU has all new pages and Instagram accounts, so don't judge us, go follow us, go interact with us. We'll show you some love, okay? So this is the feed. So Instagram really for a business organization brand makes this a lot easier because it really interacts much more personally. So I can just scroll through here and these are people that I've liked as CMU or I follow back, and I recommend churches, again, if ministry flows out of relationships, I recommend following people that you're wanting to develop a relationship with as the church and as the body of Christ, as a community. So if they are legitimate people that aren't trolls in your area, geographic area, man, I would recommend following them back so you can interact like this. You can direct message back and forth. So that would be my recommendation. But you see here, it's really simple on Instagram to be able to go through and interact with people right here on, love something, comment, message, so on and so forth. And then what also I want to recommend is you can follow hashtags. If you go under the search here and then just start typing in some hashtags. So if your church uses like specific hashtags, like hashtag Summit Park Church, hashtag SPC Life, or whatever it is, then be sure you're following those hashtags so those posts show up on your feed. Again, there's other software that will help you monitor that. But like for CMU, I might come in here and say, hey, I want to follow the church communications tag or the church comm or church marketing. And now that content, again, those tags, the top posts from those tags show up and I can interact with those as well. So you may find following popular hashtags in your community, in your city, in other nonprofits, anything that's kind of like-minded or the ones that your church is using, people in your community are using. Those are all great ways to find content that it's probably worthwhile to interact with, engage, show some love, comment on, and you're just building relationships that way. Everything's less kind of focused on, hey, come get to know the church, as opposed to, hey, we're a church, we want to get to know our community, we want to get to know you. And guess what? The byproduct of that is they do get to know you probably better than the other way around. So just some tips right there. A lot of people asking those type of questions. I just wanted to give you guys some ideas on how to do that. So keep up the good work. If you've got a tip that works, great. If you're using some software that helps you with that process, or you have another place that you're going to really engage with, let us know. We'd love to share your tip as well. And be sure sure you're at the Social Church Conference, socialchurch.co. You're going to want to be there. We're going to talk all about this type of stuff, how your church can get better at reaching people in your community. It's going to be at the end of August, all online, all free. So be sure you get your ticket, and we'll see you guys at the conference. God bless.